In the transition from current code to type Lumina, a lot changed. Despite that, previous top tiers still remain relevant in Lumina's meta, except for one character. She's considered one of the strongest in current code, but in type Lumina, that just isn't the case. So why don't we find out why? Grab a broom and raise it up high, because today's episode is all about Kohaku. Kohaku is one of the two maids in type Lumina. They can be played alone or in a pair. I'll only be talking about solo Kohaku today, but if you're interested to see how her sister Hisui plays, check out her episode. Before we can break down what went wrong, we have to talk about what kind of character Kohaku is in type Lumina and what her tools are. Kohaku is a character defined by three things: her long-range normals and specials, plant set play, and lackluster defensive options. Thanks to her trusty broom, Kohaku can cover the ground and air without getting too close. When she gets a knockdown, the plants come out to play, locking the opponent down and allowing Kohaku to run her mix-up game. However, if the roles are reversed, Kohaku has to rely on system mechanics to get out of tricky situations. Kohaku's movement is pretty good. Her dash is faster than it looks, perfect for getting her in at a moment's notice. Her air dash is unique. It goes pretty far and stays in the air for quite some time. It can even go over certain moves. Her backdash, though, leaves a lot to be desired. It doesn't go very far, making it hard to retreat in situations other characters would have no problem with. Since Kohaku uses a weapon for most of her normals, they end up being disjointed, meaning their hitbox extends further than their hurtbox, making it easier to attack opponents and harder to be counterpoked. Kohaku swats the air with 5B. This thing can be used as a situational anti-air, and it's an essential part of her plant Ogizeme since it beats low shield. 2B has Kohaku sweeping the floor with a 2-hit attack. The first hit is not a low, but the second is. It reaches pretty far too, and can clip your opponent's toes. 2C is her actual sweep. She puts her whole body into this one. Super long ranged and one of the best combo starters she has. 5C is another 2-hit normal. For the first hit, Kohaku attacks horizontally with the handle. Unless cancelled, the second hit comes out automatically. Kohaku will twirl the broom upwards, reaching very high and moving her forward. The first hit is useful in block strings because it beats low shield, and the second hit can catch people in Kohaku's airspace right in front of her. It has the tendency to not connect in block strings when Kohaku isn't up close, so don't press this button willy-nilly. Whiffing this thing is a death sentence. Kohaku's broom also works in the air. Jump A is a fast poke air-to-air. Paired with her instant air dash, Kohaku can use Jump A as a fast overhead option to open people up. Kohaku can clean the skies with Jump B, an all-around great air-to-air. Jump C is your go-to jumping button with a ton of range. When charged, Jump C gets even more range and even more disjointed, making it tricky to contest when attacking from certain angles. Charged Jump C also lets her set up triple overheads, high-low situations, and ground bounces on hit, making it a key combo tool. Last up for the normals are Kohaku's two command normals. Kohaku pulls out a fan with 6C. 6C is combo glue, vital to many of her best combos and conversions. This is because of its great range, and on hit it pulls the opponent down. Kohaku may not be able to roll like she used to, but she can still rock. Jam out with 2CC. This move is a premium frame trap tool. It can be delayed quite a bit and wall slams in the corner for some high damage combos. All in all, Kohaku's normals aren't half bad. Use them well and it'll be a clean sweep. Kohaku has a deadly secret. With Drawn Sword Hidden Blade, also referred to as Bato by the community, Kohaku slashes at her opponent. Like her normals, this sword slash is extra long range and safe on block. The A version is a low slash that is a killer neutral tool. Since it's a low, it's really good at catching ground movement and whiff punishing. The B version is an upward slash that is a vital anti-air, even more so when charged. Both the A and B versions can be charged. The A version is a feint that is used to reset pressure, while the B version is a huge anti-air that dominates screen real estate, and in the corner, it wall slams for combos. A and B Bato have a built-in follow-up that launches the opponent on hit, making it your go-to launcher. The EX version of Bato is a series of horizontal slashes that will result in a hard knockdown if even a pixel of the opponent touches its hitbox. This is one of her go-to enders and sets up Kohaku's set play. The Moonskill version on 6BC is like the EX version. It has crazy range and can cancel into the EX version for an easy knockdown into some okizeme. It also works as a situational anti-air, and at certain heights, you can even convert into a full combo. The long-range nature of this special lets Kohaku control many angles in neutral from a safe distance. She can also convert into combos from further away than most characters. Master this blade and you'll master the neutral. Her next special is Kohaku exclusive. The duo version of Kohaku doesn't have this one. Kohaku commits arson with magical amber missile, or Molotov. Kohaku will fly on her broom a set distance depending on the button pressed. During the animation, pressing the attack button again will cause her to drop a Molotov and then fall to the ground. From frame 10 onwards, she is completely strike invulnerable. The Molotovs are plus on block, letting Kohaku steal her turn back against passive opponents. However, if shielded, it's a true punish. Kohaku can also fly backwards by pressing 4A or 4B. 4A has her fly back without dropping a Molotov and it can be jump cancelled, while 4B drops 2 Molotovs and is super plus on block. Molotov is a bit finicky mid-screen. In combos, sometimes Kohaku's opponent can cross over her because of the bomb's hitbox, causing her to attack the wrong way. But in the corner, it's all good, so bombs away. The EX version is fully invincible and drops 3 Molotovs. This is her only reversal, and it's not that good because it's slow. It can still call out gaps in pressure, but it's not something to rely on. For what it lacks in defense, it makes up for in combos, as EX Molotov gives Kohaku access to some of her best Oki setups. Moonskill Molotov on 4BC drops 2 Molotovs, another great combo tool, just as plus as the rest. Magical Amber Missile can also be used in the air, and there are a few differences. Those being the A and B versions will automatically drop the Molotovs, and the EX version drops the Molotovs slightly faster. Molotov is a high-risk, high-reward special move. Land one in a block string, you get your turn back. But get shielded and be ready to eat a full combo. A long-reaching sword is nice, and who knew how beneficial immolation could be? But Kohaku is a set play character, and hers is 100% homegrown. With Look What I Grew, Kohaku pulls out an assortment of plants. A diagonally flying fern on the A button, a spinning tree on the B button, a fly trap that shoots fire for the EX version, and a cactus that packs a prickly punch for the Moonskill. The A version is a preemptive anti-air and combo tool. The B version is Kohaku's set play tool. She can place this thing down after any knockdown, including throw, and run her set play. Depending on how plus the knockdown is, you get different options. The more plus you are, the better the setup. The goal is to run up, place the plant down, beat the opponent's wake up option, and then, while they're stuck blocking, run a mix up. A common scenario is using 5B to beat low shield on wake up, forcing them to block the plant. B plant can also be charged. It moves forward at the cost of having a longer startup. EX plant, or Johnny, shoots 3 fireballs, locking down the ground while it's out. It gives hard knockdown on hit, and you can combo into this for some cross-country corner carry. The cactus on 2BC is an overhead, but it's slow at 26 frames. Kohaku's plants have two big downsides. They go away on hit and they're slow to come out. Against aggressive opponents, it can be hard to get a plant out in neutral. Outside of that, they're all great in their own way, with B-Plant being the star of the show. Chinese Kohaku cuffing is Kohaku's arc drive. It's a more reliable reversal than EX Magical Amber Missile. Still, it's a bit slow, but it will get the job done. The damage isn't half bad either. You can easily break 6k with 4 bars. On whiff, Kohaku will slam into the side of the screen, leaving her open for a full combo, and that really sucks. If charged, this arc drive becomes a command grab, but it's just not worth it. It's a gimmicky knowledge check at best, and suicide at worst. But if you do land it, it's funny. And that was just scratching the surface of what Kohaku can do. If you want to learn more, check out her wiki page on the Mizumi wiki. So, now that we've seen everything, we have to ask, how did a character who is at the top of the mountain with the gods in current code fall down into the mid-tier gutters of type Lumina? Well, first off, she lost a couple of key tools, like her command grab for example, while her stronger normals were tuned down massively. In current code, she could corner to corner carry, and while shades of that still exist in Lumina, you're not going coast to coast. In current code, she had a number of plus unblock strings that force her opponent to deal with her, whether they liked it or not. But in Lumina, she has to gamble on Molotov for plus frames, or use 2-2A off of a rapid beat. But in type Lumina, her opponent has way more options to deal with her pressure and Ogi. This is mainly thanks to everyone's favorite mechanic, shield. If they shield your plant Oki, you can kiss whatever mix-up you were dreaming about goodbye. I should also mention that current code Kohaku benefits from being a crescent style character, while in type Lumina, there are no styles. Type Lumina Kohaku has to rely on the Moon Drive system. Besides 2BC, her moon skills are good, but pale in comparison to other characters. Current code Kohaku didn't have to deal with that. She could Oki you to death, smother you in plus frames, and suffocate you with amazing normals. Ironically, the one aspect that stayed the same between the two characters is their poor reversal options. Current code Kohaku made up for this weakness by being a really fucking strong character. While the two characters may look the same, in terms of strength, they're worlds apart. But just because Kohaku isn't like she used to be, doesn't really tell us anything about type Lumina. Take Roa for example. He's good in both games, but for vastly different reasons. So what exactly is holding Kohaku back? I think the biggest issue is her inability to keep pressure on. Kohaku doesn't have many reliable plus on block options, and she's the only set play character who can't loop their Oki on throw, because the plant takes a couple of seconds to disappear. Other set play tools like Orb or Bento stay on screen and control space for far longer than the plant. I asked other Kohaku players what they thought on the matter, and the general consensus was bad clash interactions and exploitable offense. Her tools have a tendency to clash, not in her favor, and her post-clash options aren't great, having to rely on 214C or 236C. Kohaku's offense isn't bad, but there are a lot of exploitable holes, like the aforementioned poor clash options. For a set play character, she just has to take more risks to get her game plan going than others. Regardless, Kohaku can still play the game. Just because she's flawed doesn't mean she can't make you explode. And you know what? I'm gonna say it. She's a lot of fun. Outspacing an opponent with the broom, sniping with a Bato, spamming 6BC, and reading your opponent like a book on Plant Oki is something only Kohaku can do. Unless you play maids. If you like mid-range normals, long-range options, and assortment of set play tools, and high-risk, high-reward pressure resets, give Kohaku a shot. That's it for this episode of Melty Balance, but who would you like to see covered in the next one? Until that time comes, have a great day, and bye for now.
Bata bata.